Civilization began the first time an angry person cast a word instead of a rock. Love and work. Work and love, that's all there is. Being entirely honest with oneself is a good exercise. The goal of all life is death. I cannot think of any need in childhood as strong as the need for a father's protection. The interpretation of dreams is the royal road to a knowledge of the unconscious activities of the mind. The ego is not master in its own house. A civilization which leaves so large a number of its participants unsatisfied and drives them into revolt neither has nor deserves the prospect of a lasting existence. Most people do not really want freedom, because freedom involves responsibility, and most people are frightened of responsibility. If youth knew, if age could. The great question that has never been answered, and which I have not yet been able to answer, despite my 30 years of research into the feminine soul, is what does a woman want? The mind is like an iceberg, it floats with 1/7 of its bulk above water. The first human who hurled an insult instead of a stone was the founder of civilization. Flowers are restful to look at. They have neither emotions nor conflicts. The conscious mind may be compared to a fountain playing in the sun and falling back into the great subterranean pool of subconscious from which it rises. Neurosis is the inability to tolerate ambiguity. The voice of the intellect is a soft one, but it does not rest until it has gained a hearing. Dreams are often most profound when they seem the most crazy. Love and work are the cornerstones of our humanness. Everywhere I go I find that a poet has been there before me. If you can't do it, give up. Whoever loves becomes humble. Those who love have, so to speak, pawned a part of their narcissism. The tendency to aggression is an innate, independent, instinctual disposition in man. It constitutes the powerful obstacle to culture. Just as no one can be forced into belief, so no one can be forced into unbelief. A man should not strive to eliminate his complexes but to get into accord with them. They are legitimately what directs his conduct in the world. Men are more moral than they think and far more immoral than they can imagine. Men are more moral than they think and far more immoral than they can imagine. What a distressing contrast there is between the radiant intelligence of the child and the feeble mentality of the average adult. Men are strong so long as they represent a strong idea, they become powerless when they oppose it. Sometimes a cigar is just a cigar. Anatomy is destiny. A man who has been the indisputable favorite of his mother keeps for life the feeling of a conqueror. One is very crazy when in love. The first requisite of civilization is that of justice. Every normal person, in fact, is only normal on the average. His ego approximates to that of the psychotic in some part or other and to a greater or lesser extent. Where it was, their ego shall be. It is impossible to overlook the extent to which civilization is built upon a renunciation of instinct. America is a mistake, a giant mistake. Children are completely egoistic, they feel their needs intensely and strive ruthlessly to satisfy them. We are never so defenseless against suffering as when we love.